Fantastic. Okay, so good evening. My name is Adishola Cole, and I am the CEO of Tritek Academy. And the purpose why you're on this call today is to transition into tech. And I'm going to share with you everything I know about how you can transition into tech. I've been doing this now, I've been mentoring for over 8 years. In a moment, I'm going to share my journey very, very quickly. But yes, we have a lot of success stories, a lot of awards, and hopefully, after today's session, you will decide that tech is for you. No, you don't need your videos on, just myself, Rafiq. For the purpose of this evening, the session is purely on project management and business analysis. So we're not talking about data analysis or cyber or anything else, but purely project management and business analysis. Okay, guys, so are you ready? I'm always ready. So let me know if you're ready in the chat, and then we will start. Thank you. More responses. Let's make this very interactive. Everybody is muted, all muted, videos off, so that there's no interruption, no distraction, and we can focus on the session, okay? Next slide, please. All right. So, first and foremost, what is everyone's career at the moment? So, what is it that you're doing? What is your profession? What are you doing to put food on the table? So, let me know in the chat. What is your current profession? It doesn't matter if you're not working, put you're not working. But I want to know, what is it that you're doing at the moment to put food on the table, make ends meet, pay your bills, pay your rent, pay your mortgage, etc. So, this is where it gets really interesting. So we've got support workers on the call, we've got warehouse workers, children support workers, a lot of support workers, a machine operator at manufacturing industry, healthcare assistant, children support, working in construction, software engineer, a lot of healthcare assistants, product manager, maintenance, support work. So keep it coming. What is your current profession at the moment? Okay, I am assuming that you're all on this call because you want to leave your job, or you want to upskill yourself, or you want to upgrade, or you want more money, or you want more promotion. So why are you here? What has made you join today's session? Is it the fact that you want to change in career? Are you tired of your job? Are you tired of the fact that you want something more fulfilling, more challenging? Or you just have an interest in tech, or are you already in tech and you just want to work your way up? Let me know. But anyway, here are some signs that you need a career change. So I'm going to mention them, and then you're going to let me know the one that appeals to you the most in the chat. So, what are some of the signs that, it's time for you to leave or quit your job, or not quit your job without a job, but quit your job and get into tech? Lack of passion, stress, limited growth opportunities. Oh, where are the slides? Can everyone see the slides, or is it just me? Gone off. Okay. All right. So we do this. I'm going to act like a pro. Okay. Limited growth opportunities, stress, financial challenges, demotivation, no career growth. Yes. Sorry. I'm hoping that the slides come back on. Admin, can we get that sorted immediately? No promotion, little money in the bank account. So let me know the one that appeals to you the most in the chat. Shagun, admin, are we on the call? What's going on with the slides? Okay, we're back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Desire for better work-life balance, or perhaps no work-life balance. Repetitive tasks where you're doing the same thing over and over again. Diminished job satisfaction, stress. You're not interested in your job, but you're just doing it just to put food on the table. So which one relates to you the most on here? Is it the lack of money? Is it the toxic environment? Chioma just mentioned that. Are you working in an environment where it's just very toxic? You're not given a voice. You don't really know what's happening. You have ideas, but no one's really telling you what to do. No one's listening to your voice, no one's allowing you. So let's just say everything applies to everyone. I've been in tech now for over 8 years, and I will say it's the best decision that I ever made. Tech for me, it gives me the global opportunities, the financial freedom, work-life balance. It can be a little bit stressful, but you know that you're working and you're getting paid for the stress. Some of you are working under stress and you're not getting paid for the stress. Okay. So let's have a look at the next slide. Okay, so this is me, like I mentioned, and I have been in tech now for over years. I transitioned into tech in 2014. A little bit about my career journey. So I worked as a cleaner. So do we have any cleaners on the call? I worked as a cleaner for several years, working in hotels. I worked for the Savoy Hotel and Thistle Hotel, cleaning about 10 to 15 rooms a day. And then from there, I worked in a bakery selling cakes and donuts and meat pies and everything else that you can think of. And then I worked in a gambling company where people would come and place bets on football and horse riding. And then I found my way in the bank. So I worked in the bank for about 10 years. Whilst working in the bank, I was really, really frustrated at the fact that it wasn't challenging enough. I was really, really demotivated. My face did not fit. You know, when you're working in an environment where it's very toxic, okay? Work politics, absolutely. My voice didn't count. My ideas never counted as well. And people were coming in after me and they were getting promotions. And I was still stuck doing the same old thing. So I was really dissatisfied working in the bank. And I decided to transition into tech. That was in 2014. I joined a company similar to Tritek, and I got my success story in 3 months. So, just like many of you on the call, I was new to tech. I had no idea about tech, but I was able to do it. So, from working as a cleaner, working selling cakes and donuts, working in the bank, and now I am working in tech. Now, the genesis of Tritek was created in March 2017. I was pregnant with baby number 3. I just wanted to create something to get by. When we started Tritek, we had just 2 candidates on the platform. But at the moment, we have over 5,000 candidates on the platform and over 3,000 success stories. Let's have a look at the next slide very, very quickly. So, what are some of our accomplishments over the years? Top 100 Influential Global Voices 2024, a Medal of Honor at the House of Parliament 2024, Top 100 Most Impactful People 2023. We did an interview with Forbes in 2023, Global Excellence Outstanding Woman in Tech 2023, Woman of the Year in 2018, Mentor of the Year in 2016, an African Achievers Legacy Award, Emerging CEO of the Year, a Rotary Recognition Award in 2022, Woman of the Year in 2022, and the recipient of the Award for Youth Empowerment in 2020. How amazing is that, guys? And I always like to share this for many of you, perhaps thinking, oh, I'm just a cleaner, I'm just a care worker, I'm just a support worker. That was me those years ago, thinking, oh, I'm just a cleaner, cleaning 10 to 15 rooms a day. And here I am now, owning my own tech company with many awards under my belt. Let's have a look at some other accomplishments. So that was the interview that we did on the left with Forbes. This year, we were selected as the top 20 Black-owned businesses in the UK, as approved by Lloyd's and Channel 4. And then I was also featured in London Daily News, talking about the impact within the Black community within the EdTech space. Next slide. Last year, we were invited to the House of Parliament on 2 occasions. One to talk about the impact of AI, and the other to talk about cybersecurity as well. Next slide. Okay, so what else do we do in Tritek? Corporate social responsibility. I also mentor a lot of secondary school children. So at the moment in Tritek, we have free training during summer. We had it during summer, though summer is almost over, where we mentor 15 to 18-year-olds for free, mentoring them on digital skills. So this is something that I do voluntarily in my spare time, mentoring around Tottenham, Enfield, Seven Sisters. I go to secondary schools and I mentor the youth, and it's something that I'm very, very passionate about. All right. Are we an accredited company? Yes, we are. We are People Cert accredited, which is one of the highest accreditations. So we are Prince 2 accredited. We've got our CPD certification, and we are also part of the United Kingdom registered learners within London. So we are an accredited company. Next slide. Okay, success stories. Has anyone been on our page on Instagram? Give me a yes or a no. If you have, you will see that, we do have a lot of success stories. With all our success stories now, we like to put pictures, real pictures, not AI. No, it's not AI. Real people that have come onto the platform and they've been able to get their success story. So do follow us on Instagram at Tritek Academy. You will see people from different backgrounds, from care, support work. We've got success stories in the UK. We've got success stories in Canada. There was one from Canada, but all over the world. So we've made an impact over the 8 years that we have been around. And I would say that we have a 70% success story rate. Next slide. So before we move on, because this is where it gets really interesting, so I like to just go through my journey very, very quickly. So did anyone find my journey motivating at all? Has it motivated or pumped up any of you to say, do you know what? If Adishola can do it, I can do it. Is anyone feeling like that at the moment, where you're working as a cleaner, care, support, mopping toilets, and guess what? That was me, and I did something about it. So I always like to share that story very, very quickly to motivate every one of you on the call. But enough about me and enough about Tritek. It's all about you guys. Thank you so much, Elian. I got a bit scared for a minute because no one was commenting. So I'm like, oops, okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, fantastic. All right, so it's all about you guys now. And what I want to do is just talk about tech and some of the job opportunities that you can actually explore in the tech field. So my question to you right now is, when you hear the word tech, what comes to mind? So when you're thinking tech, what comes to mind? Computers, okay. What else comes to mind? So when you hear the word tech, coding, AI, IT, coding, and anything difficult. So yes, so in a moment, you're going to understand that essentially tech is not about coding. Are there coding jobs? Yes, they are. So if you're an engineer, a software developer, or a data analyst, you would need to do a little bit of coding. But we're going to explore roles right now that all of you can do, regardless of what you're doing at the moment. The most interesting thing that I get from candidates when I'm having conversations with them is that I have no experience. Oh, I am new to tech. So if you're thinking in your head right now, I am new to tech, just let me know. Now, many people think that, you know what, I don't have any experience. I'm working as a care worker, I'm working as a support worker, I'm working as a nurse or a teacher. I do not know anything about tech. Guess what? Every one of you on this call has transferable skills that you can bring into tech. So you're probably thinking, I don't have any experience, I don't know anything about tech. But guess what? In a moment, I'm going to break down some of these roles, and you will find that some of you are doing this already in your everyday professions or careers. So let's have a look at are there any teachers on the call? Do we have any teachers? Make yourselves known in the chat if you are a teacher. Yes, okay, okay. Any other teachers? Okay, we've got one or two. So, as a teacher, what do? You teach. But what are some of the skills that you need to have as a teacher? So, teachers, help me out here. You need to have good communication skills. You're dealing with people. You're having challenging conversations. You need to have good emotional intelligence skills. You need to have a level of compliance, people skills, compliance, documentation, support. I'm sure you have to write reports as well. You've got to have good attention to detail, very analytical, going through documentation, using the right communication tailored to the right candidate or student or pupil. These are skills that you have as a teacher that you can bring into tech. Let's have a look at another role. So, all the care workers and support workers, assessment skills, fantastic, fantastic, keep it coming. So, all the care workers and support workers, what do you do on an everyday basis? So, as a care worker, support worker, you're looking after clients, okay? You're managing expectations. You've got to ensure you're following your due diligence, okay? Good communication skills. So, care workers, help me out. Good communication skills, emotional intelligence. Then, what about the quality side of things? Thank you. Safeguarding, writing a risk register, risk report, compliance. You have to give medication, ensuring that it's whatever with the qualities and the governance and everything else. Care planning, you would have to write and so on and so forth. Send out emails. Guess what? All of these skills are skills that you can bring into tech. So these are transferable skills that you have that you can bring into the tech space, attention to detail, and so on. Let's have a look at another role. So someone said a customer service officer or manager. So how many of you on this call are working with customers? So if you're working with customers, let me know in the chat. Yeah. So if you're working with customers, whether you're a lawyer, you're working with a customer, okay? Working in the bank, working in a shop, working in retail, you have to have good communication skills, okay? You've got to solve problems, solve issues, solve complaints, rectify or come up with solutions, write reports, send emails. These are skills, again, that you already have that you can bring into tech. So it doesn't matter what you are doing right now, even if you are, the slides keep moving, thank you. Even if you are a stay at home mom or dad looking after children, summer has just ended. You would have had to plan where you're going to take the kids. You would have had a budget. You would have to plan your itinerary of what you're going to do throughout the holidays, where you're going to take them and this and that. Guess what? These are planning skills and coordination skills that you can bring into tech. So, does everybody understand that every one of you, regardless of the role that you're doing, has transferable skills that you can bring into the tech space? So, do you now understand when we say, you know what, you don't need to code? Tech is not about coding when you're looking at project management and business analysis. Tech is all about innovation, creativity, managing people, managing stakeholders, identifying risks, solving those risks, planning, coordination, organization, and so on and so forth. And the one thing that I love about tech is the opportunities that are available. Many people think that tech is just about being a project manager or a business analyst. And it's very important that you don't just limit yourself to just those two roles. So on here, we have a number of roles. So for example, we've talked about care and support. A care or support worker can easily do the job of a risk analyst. Why do you think that is? So we've talked about what the care and support worker does. Okay. So as a risk analyst, you're analyzing risks, you're documenting risks, and you're looking at ways to resolve those risks. As a care and support worker, you have to do a risk register and a risk assessment. So these are skills that you already have, and essentially you could do the role of a risk analyst. Do we have anyone from accounting on the call? If you come from a financial background or you're from banking, for example, you could easily do the job of a financial analyst or a project planner. So, what are you doing? So, these are roles that are interlinked with each other. Essentially, you're just making sure that my profit and budget within my business is healthy. So, you're looking at ways to ensure that we are in profit. You're looking at my resourcing, you're looking at my outgoings, and you're coming up with strategies to ensure that I do not go over my budget, I'm not spending too much, and so on and so forth. So if you come from banking or accountancy, you could do the job of a project planner or a financial analyst. Supply chain, logistics easily could do these roles. Then we've got the role of a project support officer or project coordinator. This role, a lot of you can do on this call. So, how many of you sent emails today? So, let's say, how many of you were on your laptop or your phone sending out emails? Or did you do a report? So, let me know in the chat if you sent out a report today, you sent out an email, or you had to, meet with a stakeholder or discuss with a stakeholder. Guess what? Every one of you, therefore, can do the job of a project coordinator or project support officer. These, again, two different roles, but very, very similar in responsibilities. So essentially, as a project coordinator or a project support officer, you're facilitating meetings, you're sending out emails, you're writing reports and sending it out to stakeholders. You are creating PowerPoint slides. You are doing basic things behind the scenes. The project managers are managing and doing what they need to do, but your job is more of admin. So guess what? If you're sending emails, you're writing reports, you're doing simple documentation, you can do the job of a project support officer or project coordinator. Then we have the role of a delivery manager. A delivery manager is very, very similar to the role of a project manager. So if you're managing a team, so how many of you manage a team? Maybe one person, two people, 3 to 5 people. Maybe you're a team leader, for example. So you can also do the job of a delivery manager, managing people, making sure that they're doing what they need to do. Then we have a change manager. So, in your place of work, have you ever come up with an idea or suggested a new way of doing things within your office? Have you spoken to your boss and said, you know what, how about we do something like this? Or I have an idea, and therefore I would like for us to look into this idea. If you have done that at all, you can do the job of a change manager. A change manager is all about managing change in an organization. So you are the one that will introduce the change. Is it a new process, a new tool, a new software, a new way of doing things? I'm sure everybody has gone through change at one point in their office or their industry. And the change manager is the person that would sell the change, identify the change, train everybody on the new change, and make sure that everybody adapts to that new change as well. So, collectively, all of these skills, all of these roles need the following skills: people skills. So, if you already have people skills, let me know in the chat. Communication skills. If you're communicating with stakeholders, let me know in the chat. Challenging conversations, dealing with challenges, writing reports, sending out emails, writing risk assessments, having meetings, facilitating meetings, creating PowerPoints, working in sales, managing problems and coming up with solutions. So if you're already doing this in whatever context, then you can absolutely do this in tech. Okay. And one thing you would have noticed is that not at any point did I talk about coding, right? Listen, when it comes to coding, I'm the worst. Don't talk to me about coding or programming or maths, not my thing. So, all of these roles require more of your soft skills. So, before we move on, do we have anyone interested in any of these roles that we have on the screen before we then look at the role of the project manager and business analyst in more detail. So if there's any role on here where you're thinking, do you know what? I think I can do this role. Let me know the role in the chat. So we've got different roles. Let me know the one that you're thinking, you know what? I think I can do this because I have an interest in it or I have transferable skills already. Fantastic. All right, so let's have a look at 3 major roles in detail. So, of course, we've got now the key roles that everybody talks about. But like I said, it's nice to know that there are many roles that you can go for and not just limiting yourself to the PM role, the BA role, or the PMO role. So if you're on this call and you know what, you're adamant you want to be a project manager, let me know. Just put PM. You're adamant you want to be a PM. BAs, just put BA if you're adamant you want to be a BA, and PMOs, just put PMO. Okay, so what is the role of the project manager? The project manager is the person that manages the project from beginning to end. So essentially, you are the one that manages the team. Now, when we're talking about managing a team, you are going to be managing a cross-functional team. Cross-functional means having different team members with different levels of experience and skills, and you all come together with those different skills to make sure that the project is successful. So the best way to break this down is, do we have any event planners on the call? So if you are an event planner, let me know in the chat. As an event planner, what are you doing? You're planning a wedding or a birthday celebration or a graduation. And as an event planner, you are the manager, you are the project manager, but you need a DJ, right? You need a venue. You need a caterer, you need a makeup artist, you need an MC. So all of these people have different skills, and that makes sure that the event is successful. And essentially, that is the role of a project manager. So you are the glue that brings everybody together. You are responsible and accountable for making sure that the project is successful and is also delivered within high quality. So it doesn't matter if a member of your team is not doing what they need to do, the stakeholder will hold you accountable. So as a project manager, you are managing, you are leading, you're keeping everyone on their toes, making sure they're doing what they need to do. You are also providing status updates to your clients, keeping them updated on the nature and status of your project. And guess what? You're also managing any risks and issues. So you are the one to solve the conflict, to manage the conflict, remove any barriers or blockers within the project, and make sure that everything goes accordingly. And also at the end of the project, you want to make sure that you have something that is of high quality, making sure that your stakeholder is happy at the end of the project. As a project manager, you also need to make sure your project is delivered within budget and timeline. So essentially, your budget, for example, let's say it's £150,000, it would be your job to make sure that you do not go over that £150,000. And if your client has given you a timeline of 6 months, your job as a project manager is to ensure that the project is completed within those 6 months. So essentially, what are some of the skills that you need to have as a project manager? You need to be a leader, good communication skills, attention to detail, keeping everyone abreast of what's going on. You need to be someone that is good at report writing. You need to be someone that has good conflict management skills, people management skills. You have emotional intelligence skills as well. You are also someone that likes to get involved in the project, and good time management skills. So essentially, there are some roles that you guys are doing already that would fit the role of a project manager. So if you are on this call and you are a doctor or a nurse, a teacher, a sales manager, you work in retail, customer service, a social worker, a chef, an engineer or operations, you already have transferable skills that you can bring into the role of a project manager. So do we have any doctors, nurses, engineers, sales managers, delivery managers, retail, care support workers, a chef, social worker? And I love what Damilola said. She said, I'm already doing these tasks. So you can see that where you're thinking, I don't have any experience, you actually do. So, how many of you have looked at the role of a project manager and you're thinking, actually, I do some of this. I have meetings, I provide status updates. I need to have, let's say, two people are fighting in the office. You are the one that needs to resolve the conflict, and so on and so forth. Fantastic. Okay, so we now understand that the project manager is managing, leading, guiding, keeping everyone abreast, keeping everyone on their toes, and making sure that the project is executed on time and within budget. Now, what does the business analyst do? So, the role of the business analyst is to identify the problem. Why are we initiating the project? What is the reason for this project? How are we going to execute or deliver this project? So, the business analyst job is to identify the why, the when, the what, and the how. So, your job is to identify the problem and come up with the solution or recommend the solution. So, how do the project managers and the business analysts work together? I'll give you a very, very brief example so that you understand more about the role of a business analyst. So, let's say I give you a project. So, I am the client and I give you a project. Say, for example, I want to build a house. So, I discuss with the project manager that this is the project, this is my budget, this is my timeline, and the project manager gets to work. Now, this is where the business analyst would come in. So, the business analyst is the one that really needs to understand and identify why. So, the role of the business analyst is to sit with me, the client, and find out the why. Why are you building this house? What locations do you have in mind? What kind of house do you want to build? And what is the reason for you moving to this particular area? So, as a business analyst, I would say, yes, it's about stakeholder engagement, but you are the one investigating, analyzing, asking those questions to gather that information, do your research based on the information that your client gives you, and then come up with the solution. So, as a business analyst, you're identifying the problem and then recommending the solution. So, if the business or if the client, sorry, is saying to you, I want a house in Kent, I want a 5-bedroom house, I want a swimming pool, and I'm moving because I'm expanding my family, the role of the business analyst is to gather all that information, do research based on that information, and then come back with the solution. And together, then working with the project manager to make sure that the project is successful. So, a lot of what you're doing as a business analyst is requirement gathering. So, requirement gathering is asking those open ended questions: the why, the when, the how, the what. Then you're doing a lot of research. So, as a business analyst, you're researching because before you can give the solution, you need to do your research. So, for example, let's say Tritek, I would hire a business analyst to identify tech trends, top 3 competitors, marketing, pricing. So, as a business analyst, that is your job: investigating, analyzing, fact finding, researching, identifying the problems, and then coming up with the solution. So, what are some of the skills that you need to have as a business analyst? Any guesses? So, let's do this together based on what we know a business analyst does. So, you need to be someone that's very analytical. Yeah. You need to be someone that loves to ask questions: why, when, how. You need to be someone that's very inquisitive. You like to research, you like to get to the bottom of something. So, all you detectives, future detectives, you You know who you are. You know, you can easily find someone by doing a little bit of research. You need to be someone that has good communication skills, absolutely, because you are the one that sits with the client and gets all that information from the client. So you need to be someone that also is very adaptive and very innovative. Fact finding skills as well is really important. So essentially, these are some roles that some of you are doing at the moment that you can bring into the world of business analysis. So if you are an engineer, again, a doctor or a nurse, because as a doctor or a nurse, you have to ask a lot of questions, don't you? Before you diagnose what is wrong with your patient. A scientist, a lecturer, admin, care support work, logistics, business development, and operations. So, do we have anyone on the call from these roles? Engineers, scientists, lecturers, admin, care, logistics. Let me know in the chat. Amazing. So, let's have a look at the final role for today, the PMO analyst. So the project manager is managing, monitoring, controlling. The business analyst is fact finding, researching, analyzing, and providing the solution. The role of the PMO analyst, and PMO stands for Program Management Officer. Their role is to bring structure to the project. So, as a PMO analyst, you are bringing compliance, standardization, organization, and structure. So, you are like a police officer within the project, making sure that everyone is dotting their I's and crossing their T's. So, you're making sure that the right templates are being used, the right documentation. You are the one ensuring that there is compliance, governance processes, and standardization. So if you're coming from HR, for example, easily you could do the role of a PMO analyst. If you're also coming from a legal background, you have to do a lot of documentation, compliance, and everything else. Easily you can do the role of a PMO analyst. Or if you're coming from banking, again, you can do this role. So, as a PMO analyst, what are some of the skills that you need to have? You need to have good organizational skills, good attention to detail. You are the one that finds the faults that the project managers, the BAs, and everyone else has done. So, you're not really nitpicking, but you're looking for errors in order to fix those errors. So, again, like a quality assurance person or compliance. Okay. So, what roles would be suitable? Property management would be project manager, Fabian. So, what roles would be suitable for the role of a PMO analyst? HR. So, I think there's a number of you that come from HR, so make yourselves known. Lawyers, do we have any lawyers on the call? Or you come from a legal background, again, make yourselves known. Care and support workers, remember you have to do your quality control, your risk register, all of that stuff. So you can easily do the role of a PMO analyst. Do we have any social workers, compliance and banking, finance, engineers, operations, procurement, logistics? Again, can do this role because this role is all about documentation, paperwork, structure, order, and so on. Care manager, yes, you can do the role of a PMO analyst. So before we move on to the next slide, very, very quickly, what is the difference between the project manager and the business analyst? So yes, it is NECA. So the PM and the BA, we now understand the difference between the two. What are the differences? So when you hear the word project manager, what comes to mind? As a PM, what are you doing? Remember, I talked about it. Don't leave me hanging, guys. The overseer, I like that, overseer. You're accountable, responsible, you're managing, you're leading, you're guiding, you're keeping everyone abreast of what's going on. You're updating your stakeholders, you're removing problems and issues, managing those risks, you're writing reports, you're overseeing everything, good communication, etc., etc. Fantastic. And the business analyst is doing what, guys? So what does the BA do? Event manager, project management. You're deep diving, you're investigating, you're fact finding, you're researching, you're analyzing, you're gathering data, you're investigating the why, the when, the how, gathering that information. Then you're working with the project manager together to make sure that the project is successful. And then the PMO analyst. Where does the PMO analyst fit in? So the PM is doing what they need to do, the BA is doing what he or she needs to do, and the PMO brings in that compliance, structure, organization, governance, etc. Looking for errors, fixing those errors. Amazing. Very, very good. Okay. One thing that I will mention is that if you are new to tech, sometimes it's nice to just have an open mind. Don't limit yourself to just one role. The world of tech is changing, okay? Also, when you're applying for jobs, do not look at the job title, okay? Because a lot of these roles are interlinked with each other. So PM, so for example, someone said the PM and the PMO seem the same. A little bit, but the PMO is working more behind the scenes, making sure there's structure and order. And the PM is the one really dealing with the people, the stakeholders, the challenging conversations, and everything else. Okay, so do we now understand the role of the PM, the BA, and the PMO? Let me know in the chat and let's move on. Thank you, Akin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next slide. All right, so we've looked at different roles, and I think now you understand that where you're thinking, I don't have any experience, I am now confident that you will probably say to yourself, well, actually, I do have some sort of experience in the current role that I'm doing. So, what is the right strategy to use when you're looking to transition into tech? Identify your transferable skills. And I think we've done that already. So let's have a look at some of the transferable skills that many of you have already. Empathy skills, emotional intelligence, problem solving, working under pressure. How many of you are working under pressure right now? Make yourselves known in the chat. Doing those long hours, pressure from staff, pressure from your patients, your students, your customers. I can relate. So let's have a look at other transferable skills. Working under pressure, dealing with people, customers, clients, students, patients, communication skills, report writing, risk assessment, compliance, dealing with problems and challenges, facilitating meetings. These are skills that you already have. Then step two, identify your personality type. This is really, really important. So for example, I might see someone that tells me, oh, I want to be a project manager. And you look at them and you're thinking, I'm not really sure if you're able to do that job because as a project manager, you have to be out there. You see what I'm doing right now, talking to people, facilitating meetings, solving two people not talking to each other. You have to be very vocal. You are the one that is out there. And some of you, perhaps, you don't really have that kind of personality to be out there. So, step two is really identifying your personality. Am I an introvert, an extrovert, an ambivert? If you are an introvert, I'm not saying that you cannot be a project manager. I'm just saying that maybe you should look at a role where you're not dealing with so many people. Project coordinator, project support officer, and so on. And if you are an extrovert, then of course, by all means, do the roles where you're dealing with people, engaging with others, and so on. And then step three, fill in the gaps. So it will be interesting to know, step two, what are you? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert, an ambivert, or you don't even know? Let me know in the chat. But yes, once you've done that, step three, fill in the gaps. So these are the areas that you know you need to work on. And this is where you can say, okay, I don't have experience in these areas. So learning the right tools in project management and business analysis, learning the right language. So to many of you, for example, you would say customer or client. In tech, we say stakeholder. learning the different techniques that we have. We have different techniques, understanding how to use the right tools, understanding how to budget and forecast, and understanding the different ways to manage your stakeholders. So these are some of the gaps that you would need to fill. And of course, this is where Tritek would help you. Next slide. So we've got a lot of ambiverts. I'm confused on my personality. Maybe you're an ambivert. You're a little bit, you're an introvert. I'm an ambivert. I can be introverted and I can be extroverted. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Ofonime, can somebody respond to Ofonime, please? Sorry, I have to crack on because of time. Thank you. All right. So, how can TriTech help you? Like I said, we have been around for a very long time and we have mentored thousands of candidates, and they have all gone through this program. The program is a 9-month program. So when you join us, we give you 9 months, and these 9 months are split into 3 phases. Patricia said, I'm going to read that because it's very, very important. I am an introvert. Can I do business analysis? Of course you can. Yes, you can. So it doesn't matter if, I'm not saying that because you're an introvert, you can't deal with people. I'm just saying that sometimes you just need to think about that. But yes, you can. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at the first role, the first phase of this program, which is stage 1. So next slide. Okay, so this is where you would fall automatically. And this is your theoretical phase of your training. So in phase 1, we would train you in project management and business analysis. There are many reasons why we do this. Number one, and if you have any guesses, please put it in the chat. So why do you think we train you in both project management and also business analysis? Whilst I'm waiting for your responses, I will explain. The industry is changing rapidly. So, for example, don't be alarmed if you get hired as both a project manager and also a business analyst. I've actually seen people get hired as both a business analyst and also a PMO analyst. So we train you in both so that you're not limiting yourself to just the project manager or the business analyst role. Think about all those other roles I talked about: project coordinator, support officer, risk analyst, financial analyst. When you've had the training in both, you can apply for any of these roles. Also, when you're going for an interview, sometimes it's nice to showcase that you have experience in everything. The industry is competitive, and therefore you want to stand out from the crowd by showcasing that you have knowledge in project management and also business analysis. So phase 1 is your theoretical training. Also in this phase, tools, training you on the right tools. We have different tools in tech, but the key tools that we're going to train you on would be MS Project, Visio, and other tools to make sure you are ready for the job market. Also in phase 1, you would do a personality test and a skills matrix test. So this is just a test to guide you on your personality and your existing skills. And then it would provide a report on areas that you need to work on. So for phase 1 training, you're looking at about 7 to 8 weeks. So is everybody clear on phase 1? This is your theoretical training, and it's about 7 to 8 weeks for your training. Okay, let's have a look at the next slide. Okay, there's something on here that I'm going to talk about very, very quickly. TDL. TDL is like gold in Tritech. So think about your Netflix and your YouTube, right? TDL is your digital library that has a lot of videos that are going to help you on this journey. So let's have a look at TDL very, very quickly. A lot of the success stories that we have in Tritech are on the back of TDL. So it's your digital library that has videos on cybersecurity, It has videos on emotional intelligence. It has videos on AI, how to use ChatGPT. It even has videos on imposter syndrome. Admin, are we there? Thank you very much. So this is what it looks like. So when you register, you would have your login details. So you would be sent your username and your password. As you can see in the drop down on your dashboard, all of your training materials are on here. Your terms and conditions, your training timetable is also on here. And then you've got some AI tools. It's a little bit like ChatGPT. So I want to show you the videos very, very quickly. So remember that this is project management and business analysis. So those are the videos that you would have. So it's up to you where you want to start with your videos. So project management, let's go straight to the videos, please, because of time. All right, so these are all of the videos. So when you register today, you will get access to this today. So you've got videos on Word, PowerPoint. So for those of you that don't know how to use PowerPoint or Excel, you've got videos on that. You've got videos on project planning using MS Project. You've got videos on stakeholder management. Change management is also on here. We've got videos on raids, risks and issues, PMO, report writing. How to write reports is also on here. When you register, we send you the login details. We've got videos on governance, MS projects, digital project management. We've got a lot of videos on agile, GDPR, general data protection is also on here. A project manager's diary. So what does a project manager do from 9 to 5? How to write a CV, interview questions and answers, LinkedIn preparation. We've got videos on confidence at work, new videos, and we're always uploading communication skills, PowerPoint. So let's have a look at this one, dealing with imposter syndrome. That is a topic that I'm sure many of you can relate to. So again, you just press play and that is the video in the background. So it's like going shopping, putting different things in your basket, and then watching your videos. There's over 200 videos on here. You've got videos on how to use LinkedIn to look for jobs, which is another juicy topic. Go up, Shagun. Just there, yeah. So this is another fantastic video. So it's up to you how you watch your videos, bearing in mind you have 9 months. So this is a really good video on how to use LinkedIn to apply for jobs. We've got videos on immigration sessions, the white paper, all the COS changes and everything else, recent developments, there's videos on that. Interview clinic is also on here, how to prepare for interviews. We have a monthly interview clinic that everybody joins. Keep going down, please. Thank you. So these are just project management videos. Let's have a look at the BA videos very, very quickly. So again, just like the project management videos, we give you access to the PM videos and also the BA videos. So it's up to you where and how you want to start. So on here, we've got videos on software testing, requirement gathering, requirement elicitation. We've got videos on GDPR. Guess what? There are even videos on cybersecurity, Scrum Masters on here, a business analyst diary, a cybersecurity. I think you just saw that, CV writing, change management, introduction to AI is even on here. SQL, a day in the life of a business analyst. We've even got videos on robotic process automation, big data, how do companies handle your data? Business intelligence is on here. Then we upload it with more content. Yes, we have that as a separate course in manual. Business architecture for those of you that are very, very technical. And we upload it with more videos. And again, you just select any topic of your choice. Requirement gathering, you name it. And the good news about all of these videos is that you can watch them on your mobile phone. So we give you this for free, included in your package. What to expect at work, LinkedIn optimization. Again, this is included when you register today and it's free. So it's included in your package. All right, let's go back to phase 2. So the best way to describe TDL is it's your library, it's your dictionary, it's your encyclopedia. Okay, phase 2. So phase 2 is really, really critical because this is the practical element of your project. Phase one was all about theory, but guess what is going to give you the job? It's the practical experience. When you go for an interview, you're not going to be discussing, Prince 2 is the definition of this. A project manager is somebody that does X, Y, Z. No. When you go for an interview, they want to know what you've done, how you've done it. Give me examples, show me examples, and so on. The most important phase in your learning, Judith, it's 9 months. Admin, can you help me with the chat? Thank you. The most important phase in your learning journey is phase two. I'm not saying that phase one is not important, but phase two is the practical experience that you need in order to get your job. There are many people that have Prince 2 certifications and doctorates and masters, but they are unable to get a job because they don't have experience. So in phase two, this is where you're working and collaborating with other people on a real project. We do not give you a fake project. We do not give you a case study. We give you real projects where you're working with a developer and you're seeing the end result of your project. Also in phase two, we have an interview clinic. Every interview clinic is a session that everybody joins on the platform. It's recorded and uploaded on TDL. Then also, Joseph, like I said, when you register, you get the login details to TDL, okay? Also, you get your LinkedIn optimization. So how many of you have a LinkedIn profile? Okay, Johnson, that's fine. So sorry. So how many of you have a LinkedIn profile at the moment? What does it say about you? Do not worry if it's saying that you are doing something completely different to tech. Our job is to help you with this. So when you're ready to apply for jobs, you would put in a request and we would optimize your LinkedIn profile for you. And also in phase two, we're guiding you on how to apply for jobs. Phase two, you are looking at about 2 to 3 months, okay? This is really important, and it's important that you don't rush it. On average, I would say it takes about 4 to 5 months to get your success story in Tritek. Some people can get it in 2 months, some people can get it in 3 months. But I think it's very important that you do not rush the process. Take your time, understand everything, and then get that confidence to start applying. So this is phase two, and this is the practical element of the program. And finally, phase three. So this is where you all want to be, okay? Where you've done your training, you've gained the experience, and now you're ready to start applying for jobs. So in phase three, you would get your certificate. So how many of you love a certificate? You've got it hanging in your walls, in your folders, on your phones, you put it on your profile, you put it on your WhatsApp status. I get the drift. So when you've completed the program, you would get a certificate of completion. Also, in phase three, you would start applying for jobs. And it's our care of duty to ensure that for every interview that you have, we allocate you a mentor. Has anyone gone for an interview recently in tech? How was the interview? You will find that there's a lot of stages. When I interviewed many years ago, it was one stage, but now there's about 2 to 3 stages. And you have to do presentations, okay? So we would make sure that a mentor is available. There are 5 stages, absolutely. But do not worry, this is where we help you with this, making sure a mentor is there to prepare you for your interview. And finally, you would get your success story in phase three. In phase three, you're looking at about 2 months. Some people get their success story in phase two, but essentially, you want to wait till phase three. So how many of you want to get to phase three and get your success story? I'm just reading your comment, Fabian. I have an Agile foundation. So you need the UK experience. Absolutely. So isn't this where we want to be? You want to get to phase three and get your success story. I'm assuming that's where you all want to be. No? Hopefully that's why you're on the call. Okay, let's have a look at the next slide because of time. All right, what is our guarantee in Tritek? Our guarantee is very, very simple. If you do not get your success story within 9 months, but I'm hoping that everybody on the call would get their success story between 5 to 6 months on average. But we also understand that, things happen for whatever reason. People are busy, you've got shift work, you've got school, you've got kids, and sometimes it might be a challenge finding a balance. So, what we used to do, remember I said you have 9 months on the platform. What we used to do is after 9 months, we would remove you from the platform, whether you got your success story or not. But what we now decide to do is if you do not get your success story in 9 months, we would no longer remove you from the platform, but mentor you for free until you get your success story. So isn't that fantastic, guys? Knowing that, yes, you have 9 months, and if you don't get your success story in 9 months, we would mentor you for free until you do. And that is accountability coaching. So you would be moved to accountability coaching if you do not get your success story. But hopefully, none of you would need accountability coaching because you would have gotten your success story, right? Yes? Are we agreeing that we're not going to need accountability coaching and we're going to get a success story in 5 to 6 months? Okay. But it's nice to know that we now have this. Okay. Next slide. We also have monthly immigration sessions for anybody that needs it. This is not my forte. So sometimes we get a lot of you on the call, for example, who might need issues with, or you need guidance and support on COS and switching and your visa status and everything else. So we have monthly immigration sessions once a month by Sir Daberici. Sir Daberici joins us and gives us updates on anything to do with immigration because a lot of our candidates are immigrants. Okay, so we have these sessions once a month. It's nice to get real professional advice. Okay, next slide. So training, when does it start? Now we have weekend options and weekday options. And we do this because, again, everyone is busy. Some of you or most of you have shift work. You might be working at weekends or you might be working on a weekday. So therefore, we make these options available. So your weekend classes are on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And your weekday classes are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So you can opt for either or any of these sessions. Every training session is recorded. Again, taking into account that everybody has a busy schedule. So do not worry if you miss a session because you're at work or you're busy. The sessions are recorded. Remember, your training is for 7 days, 7 weeks, okay? So you've got 7 Saturdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays for 7 days, okay? So you've got weekend or weekday, and every session is recorded. Next slide. Success stories. So this is our data for success stories this year. I am pleased to announce that, of course, I am a woman, and it's nice to see that the women are leading with success stories this year, but only at 51%. And the men not too far behind on 49%. So women, give yourselves a round of applause. Even though you're not part of the success stories, women, let's clap for ourselves. But this can change. I think last time I did this, the men were leading. So now, interesting data here. What are the current industries where candidates come from before they get their success stories? Healthcare is sitting at 24%. So the highest success stories that we get in Tritek so far are candidates that have come from healthcare and transitioned into tech. Then we have people from tech itself at 19%. 18% is retail and construction. 15% is consulting, 10% finance, 8% the government sector, and 6% education. But healthcare is sitting at number one. So that means most of our success stories at the moment are people from the care and support industry. Next slide. So we're getting to the end very, very soon. Top success story or top roles. Project management roles is sitting at 34%. So what that means is the most success stories that we've gotten this year are the project manager roles. The business analyst roles are sitting at 32%. Project coordinator, project support officer, 18%. And then other roles, your risk analyst, your financial analyst, your project planner, 16%. Okay, so this is very, very simple data that you will be doing when you join Tritek. Next slide. Okay, success stories. Yes, this is our wall of fame in Tritek for this year. So these are all of our candidates that have gotten their success stories this year. What we're going to do is, everyone still with me? Let me do a roll call and make sure that everyone is still paying attention. Do not worry. In 5 minutes, we will be done. Okay, I'm going to answer that question so that we're not confused. So somebody asked, is the program for 7 weeks or 9 months? No. Oh, sorry, guys, give me 1 moment. So the program is for 9 months. And remember, I broke the program into 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So phase 1 is your theoretical training, 7 to 8 weeks. Phase 2 is your work experience. That's 2 to 3 months. And then phase 3 is when you're applying for jobs, and that's 2 months. So on average, you're looking at about 4 to 5 months. Okay, so no, you don't, Kay. So we give you a certificate of completion. And like I mentioned, we are an accredited company. I'm going to play this video very, very quickly. It just summarizes some of our success stories that we've had to date. This is not everyone, just a few. There's no volume.
Project management for business analysis. And I was just going through Instagram this particular day and I came across one of the adverts from Tritek. And I thought to give it a try. So I joined the taster session, that's what it was called at the time. Joined the taster session, listened to Dr. Adeshwako sell business analysis and project management course to us. And I was just hooked. There and then I paid and had my training, and then I go on to the work experience. And fast forward, after I finished my work experience training, I revamped my CV, and then I started applying for jobs. And thankfully, the first job I applied for, I got it. I'm happy to tell you now that I'm the project manager with our media agency. I transitioned from banking, 10 years experience, and my journey in project management has been worthwhile. Trust me, it's a worthy investment. You will not regret it. I remember being stuck in a dead-end career, and I took a leap of faith, registered as a candidate, and then came on a taster session, and the rest is history. Tritek has changed my life. Currently now on a track of becoming a senior business analyst now. I've got people that I'm mentoring now, all within just a period of 1.5 years, and it's all special thanks to Tritek. March 2022, I made a life-changing decision by joining Tritek. A month after I relocated, I started putting in applications, and within 3 weeks, I was able to land a project coordinator role and also a project specialist role. For me, how Tritek helped me is I was able to change my career, help me to build that confidence and gain that knowledge base that I needed to change my career. And I actually do a job now that I enjoy and I actually like. Today, I'm a business analyst
I remember then that I was able to secure a couple of job offers. I must say, I had a lot of interviews and fantastic feedbacks. And I will say thank you to Tritek for all the foundation they've actually laid. I never knew that it was going to be easy for me. I was so nervous. I was so scared. I didn't even know if I was doing the right thing going into tech or moving in this path. But trust me, right now, I have all the conviction I need. And I'm so happy that I did it. I'm so happy I made this choice because this choice that I've made has changed my life.
I'm a senior project manager and I've been opportune to work across different sectors as a result of a journey that started in Tritek a couple of years ago. Tritek gave me the opportunity and platform that exposed me to the rudiments and the basics around project management.
So I came hungry. I wanted to learn. I was keen to, PM. I was hoping to give me like a PM role and things like that. But every assessment I did kept going to BA, and eventually I was allocated to a deputy BA role. And as we speak, I'm actually BA lead for the project that I'm doing, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Okay. Are we stopping here, Shagun?
Yes, doctor.
Thank you. So we have more, but I'm hoping that you guys are motivated from listening to some of the videos. The slides have gone again. But yes, amazing testimonials for some of our candidates who came with no experience and they were able to get their success story. So how many of you would love to feature on our wall of fame when you get your success story? So this was just for this year, all of our success stories for this year. But, positive thinking, you know how it is. You got to think positive, attract positivity, and hopefully, your picture would be on here. Okay, next slide. Thank you. Important notice, we are a training company. Please download your timetable. It's like going to university. When you go to university, what do? You download your timetable so you know the days and the times for your training. We will help guide and support you in, getting your job, your mentorship, your accountability coaching and everything else. But please do not rely on us. It's important you put in the work, get involved. Remember, I said that phase 2 is the most important. Watch your videos, watch your library. There's so much information on TDL, from AI to Scrum to cyber. So when you get your login details today, start watching your videos to help you. We are diverse and inclusive. So it doesn't matter where you come from, you are all accepted on the program. And like I mentioned, active participation is important. Okay, next slide. All right. Oh, this was meant to be a surprise, but it was too quick. Okay, so we have just introduced something brand new. I'm not sure if anyone saw a video that I did on Instagram today. We just introduced this today. So did anyone see a video where I introduced a new curriculum? It was on Instagram, where I talked about the fact that we did our research recently and we realized that there's a huge emphasis on AI and data intelligence. So AI, are we agreeing that AI is huge at the moment? Everyone's using ChatGPT, but AI is definitely going to change the way that we work. It's all around us and it's here to stay. And the best way that you can remain relevant in any given industry is knowing how to use AI. So it's not about allowing AI to replace you, but knowing how to work with AI. Okay, so therefore, we have now added this to our curriculum. It doesn't matter exactly, patients, even if you don't want to get into tech and you want to work in the office, sales, you name it, you must have an understanding of AI. And the other course that we've just introduced free of charge is data intelligence. Freedom David, there should be members of my team responding. So admin, can we please respond to the guys in the chat? Because I don't want to get distracted. But what I normally do is stay on later and then answer any questions. And we're almost done. Data is also important. Now, did everybody see how I broke down the success stories? Yeah, that is data. And again, this is critical. So AI and data intelligence work hand in hand. AI in itself in Tritek is £199 and data intelligence is £429. But what I've said and what I've done is repackaged the curriculum in project management and business analysis starting from today. So you guys are the first cohort that would now have AI and data intelligence included. Yes, Freedom, all the success stories that you just watched are remote jobs. Yes, yes. Oh, it's not on here. Okay. You also get a certificate. So you get a certificate in AI and data intelligence alongside your certificate in project management and business analysis. So essentially, if you're paying for project management and business analysis, you're getting 4 courses for one. Okay. So AI and data is key, and that is why we've now included it in the project management and business analysis curriculum. Next slide. Okay, so this is usually 1,700. Sorry, I'll get to the questions in a minute. But team, can we support with the questions? Thank you, thank you, thank you, because I'm conscious of time. All right, so included in your package is your project management training, your business analysis training, your digital library, your work experience, your interview clinic, your mentorship, your AI and data intelligence, your accountability coaching if you do not get your success story, and everything I've talked about, immigration advice, all inclusive in your package. The original fee for this is 1,700. But let's have a look at the offer that we have for today. Patricia, that's a good question. So I think what they've done now, before I come to this, what they've done now is there's a guide on what videos you should watch first. Because when you log into TDL, there's a lot of videos. So I think we've now revamped it. So there's a guide on your must-watch videos, what you need to watch. But essentially, I would say watch 2 videos a day and you will be just fine. Okay, so the package is now currently discounted at £549, and we have 20 slots available. So that includes all your training, your work experience, and now, like I've mentioned, AI and data intelligence. AI and data intelligence on itself combined is worth about £700, £800, but you're getting it for free. Now, the great news, let's have a look at the next slide, is that you can pay this in installments. So this is a beautiful thing. Whether you want to do full payment or installment, you are not penalized. We know a lot of you will probably go for the installment option. So therefore, it's 549 in installments. We use Klarna and ClearPay and many other options as well. We only have 20 slots for 549, including the free course, like I mentioned. So what do you need to do to secure your place? You have 2 options. You can put your numbers in the chat, and that guarantees that you're part of the 20 slots. Yes, it includes LinkedIn optimization. Remember, I talked about it in phase 2. Okay, so what are the options for enrollment? If you put your number in the chat, that guarantees that you're part of the first 20. You will get a text message very, very soon. That text message has your payment details. So you click on it, you can do your card, your transfer, or your installment option. Like I said, 549, you can split it in 3 to 4 payments or 2 to 3. We try to make it as flexible as possible. Or if you're speaking to Shagun or Fumilola or Ebiri or Anna or Esther or Andy, you can message them directly and then they would be in touch. So 549, everything I've talked about. A lot of you right now on this call, beginning of the year, you said you were going to change your career, you were going to do something about it. Guess what? August is over. And we are approaching September. Isn't that shocking, guys? The year is almost over. Why not do something about it now? Even if you don't get your success story this year, you can start in August or September, and come January, February, you're entering 2026 with a new job in tech. Isn't that fantastic? And some of you might decide to test the waters and get your success story this year. September, October, November, December gets a little bit quiet, but at least there's no hope in trying. Okay, so thank you, Esther. So discounted from 17 to 549. Iffy, yes, that's possible. It can fly, Iffy, but guess what? Just know that the training is there for you if you need it, okay? So do bear that in mind. Now, what happens is everybody gets a text message in a moment. Roger, you get a certificate of completion, and we are an accredited company. Thank you, Freedom, for that lovely compliment. So 549 in installments if you want to do it in installments. Remember that you guys are the first cohort, the first that is getting AI and data intelligence included in your package. Do your research. AI training is normally about 200, 300 pounds. Thank you, Fabian. And data intelligence is normally about 400, 500 pounds. You are getting this for free. And you guys are the first cohort to get this entirely free. It doesn't matter where you're based, okay? So if you're in America, Canada, Paris, etc., Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, do put your details and somebody will reach out to you. So what will happen is you will get a text message, and then a member of the team will also call you if you need them to call you to guide you on the payment process, okay? So don't be alarmed if somebody called Shagun, Fumilola, Ebere, Anna, Esther, Andy will call you. Oh, Olufemi, thank you so Thank you, thank you, thank you. We do have something in Tritek called Community Connect, where we meet once a month. We've started to do that. So if you do join Tritek and you want to meet me, you will be able to meet me. Okay. Okay, guys, how did you find today's session? We are done. So for those of you that need to log off, I tried to be a little bit quicker with the time, and I think I've done quite well. So how did you guys find today's session? Do let me know in the chat. Thank you so much. So do we now understand that tech is not hard? It's not about coding and Excel. And I'm seeing so many people say, oh yeah, you have to be computer literate. Guess what? You're going to have to write reports, PowerPoint, and things that you're doing already. If you're sending emails, then you should be able to, do the basic things in tech. And remember that you don't necessarily have to go for the high roles. You could go for a low-level role, a project coordinator, a project support officer, sending emails, writing reports, taking minutes and meetings, gaining that confidence, and then working your way up. And then remember that there are other roles that you can explore as well. Thank you, Ebenezer. So don't just limit yourself to just the PM role and the BA role. Think about other roles that I've talked about: financial analyst, risk analyst, change manager, delivery manager, process improvement. So always have an open mind when you have the training. So what's the timeline, for example, after 6 months of applying for jobs, nothing has come up? So good question. So if you would move to the accountability coaching in months 7 or 8, yeah? So we would move you to accountability coaching, but we mentor you anyway. So you have mentorship as soon as you've completed your project, okay? And if you have to be positive, something will happen, yeah? So if you are joining, you've got to be positive and just understand that, you know what, I want to get my success story, and therefore give yourself a timeline. It's very important, 3 to 4 months. Yes, so all the numbers on the screen are the numbers that would call you. Now, they are just calling you to guide you through the process. Everybody should have got a text message by now. If you put your number in the chat, you are guaranteed as part of the 549. Again, like I said, it can be done in installments. I think the 4 hours per session might get boring. So there are breaks in between, Tobichuku. Okay. Is it multi-choice questions? So that person that asked about exams, so you do an assessment in Tritek. So you do the work experience and then you do an assessment. So there's nothing like exams, okay? So the key thing that we focus on in Tritek is the practical element of the program. All right. So I'll stay on to answer any questions. Not necessarily, Godwin. I would say yes and no. I know, yes, Chioma, you also get a voluntary reference in Tritek. I forgot to mention that. So yes, Yannick. So 549 for everything I've talked about: project management, business analysis, and now AI and data intelligence. Okay, so we've just incorporated that for you guys starting from today. So you guys are the first batch having data intelligence and AI included in your program. So Anthony, when you log in to your portal, there's a timetable, and the timetable would have all information on the days and times for your training. Collins. Has anyone got the text message? Sorry, I'm trying to find Collins. If you're doing a 9 to 5, then I would advise that you go for the weekday or the weekend option. So weekday is Tuesdays and Thursdays. Admin, correct me, it's been a long day. Is it 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.? Admin, can you just correct me on that? Or you do the weekend option, which is 11 to 4. Okay. Yes, Yannick. So you have the weekend options. If you're someone that works Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, then I would advise that you opt for the weekend. The weekend is every Saturday for 7 Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The weekdays are Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening. I'm just waiting for admin to confirm. Admin, don't leave me hanging.
It's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., Doctor.
6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So the person that said they do 9 to 5, I would advise maybe opt for the weekend option. Okay. Yes, Iffy. So that's included in your accountability coaching. So what we do now is offer sponsorship guidance and support on how you can apply for COS jobs in tech. So that's included in your mentorship when you have your accountability coaching. I won't always have a fixed rota. So Joseph, if you're someone that doesn't have a fixed rota, then you might have to combine some weekend sessions with some weekday sessions. So even if you opt for weekend or even if you opt for weekday, you can mix and match if you need to. And do also bear in mind, every session is recorded because again, we know that people are really, really busy. Okay. I hope that helps you. Who was the person that said that? Income, potential income. I would say minimum that you're looking at for any tech role, 40,000 to 45,000 per annum. That is your minimum. But I've seen candidates on 50, 55, 60,000 per annum, 65, 70, 75,000 per annum. Okay, but minimum, I would say, is 40,000 to 45,000 per annum. Okay. Certification, you get a certificate of completion. Sam, once you drop your number, a member of the team will reach out to you. Did everyone get the text message? Yes. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Yannick. Yannick, your name rings a bell. Yes, it can. Saiful. All right. No. Okay. Shagun, you might need to.
Yeah, the second batch is going out now.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm just staying on. So for anyone that needs to go, you can. I like to stay on just to answer any questions. So yes, I think that is it. The session is recorded. So I'm hoping that I've answered the questions where a lot of you have. We understand many of you are working. You're doing a lot of hours. Your job is, all over the place. So therefore, do bear in mind the installment. Olajide, what's the challenge? So we offer 3 to 4 installments. Colin's question, I need Colin to repeat the question. I can't find it, Olufemi. So if you have it, Please kindly repost it. Thank you. So you have 3 to 4 installments, okay, for 549. Thank you. Like I was saying while I'm waiting for Collins, we understand everybody is busy. So if you opt for weekends and you're not able to meet some of those weekends, you can opt for weekdays. So you can mix and match. And bear in mind, every session is recorded. Chioma, please answer my question. Collins and Chioma. Collins. How much for project support? I would say minimum £40,000. Collins and Chioma, can you repeat your question now? There's a lot of questions. So the more people are putting questions, the higher your question goes up, okay? So you need to put it again. Thank you. Yes, Ebenezer, you can combine weekends and weekdays, okay? So I think I've mentioned that already. Training is live, Chioma. So sorry, I've seen your question now. So the training is live, like right now. And then we upload it on your library. And every session is recorded. Okay. How many hours per week for the training? So your timetable, so if you're doing weekend, 11 to 4, you're looking at about 6 hours a week for weekend training, and weekdays, you're looking at 6 hours as well, okay? Your library, you're going to get your login to your library today. This is free, so we give you the library for free. So you log into that today, you have access to that for 9 months. So the moment you make your payments, you will get an email with your login details, your username and your password. That would have the login details to your library, and you can start watching your videos from today. Roger, so if you want to do Prince 2, that is separate from this package. Yes, we do train in cybersecurity. Adini, yes, it's 5, you've confused me now. Okay, 549, not 509. So 549 in 3 to 4 installments, okay? What is the easiest or less stressful? Zima. I would say go for a project coordinator or project support officer role where you're not dealing with people, yeah, because managing people can be challenging, okay? So you could do like a low-level role where you're just sending emails, writing reports, writing documents, taking minutes and meetings. So you can start there and then work your way up. So Olufemi, sadly, a certificate of completion of your course will not be recognized. Okay, yeah, so let's talk about certificates. I know we love certificates, but I just want to mention that when you go for an interview, the interviewer is more interested in your experience. We have many candidates that get their success story without even having certification. In actual fact, when I got my success story, I did not even have Prince 2. So Prince 2, the agiles and everything else, it's nice to have, especially where the industry is competitive. So it's nice to have your certificates and it's nice to have your experience. But what is going to get you your success story is your experience. Okay, so I just thought I would mention that. Olufemi, I've seen what you've said. Thank you. Is there any plan for Olajide? Yes, there is. Someone said, I like money, not certificates. Can we get a job without having a recognize? Exactly, Habib. I think I have answered that question. Now, I am not discouraging everyone. This is a disclaimer. Thank you, Olufemi. I'm not discouraging anyone from doing their Prince 2 and their Agile and everything else. But what is going to get you your job is your experience. Okay? So I just thought I would mention that. But what gets you the interview is what it says on your CV. And Sam, what is going to be on your CV? Your experience. Okay. Do you know that the person interviewing you will not even have half of the certificates that you have? And I'm saying this from experience. Okay. Okay, we're going to end this session in 50 seconds. We finished early anyway. Is project support a different training? No, it's all included. So when you have your training in project management and business analysis, all of the other roles, once you've had that training, you can apply for all the other roles I talked about: project coordinator, project support officer, risk analyst, finance